morning and welcome to Spiritual Sharing. I am your host Shannon. On today's episode we're just going to be having a bit of a general chat about what I've been up to. Obviously this week's podcast is a little bit late getting to you all, but that's just because I've been busy. Busy with readings, busy with changes that have been happening, busy with dealing with technology that doesn't seem to want to work. So I just thought I would come on and do a midweek for you guys, a bit of a catch up, a bit of a follow up, and let you know what I've been up to. Thanks again for listening to today's podcast, and I'm your host once again, Shannon, and this is Spiritual Sharing. Okay, good morning guys. It's currently Wednesday where I am at 11:30. Don't know why that was relevant, but anyway, it's in there. So I just wanted to come on and let you guys know, why the podcast is late this week. I've had and I know that it's going to be really cliche, because it's sort of like any time that there's a retrograde going on, it's like everything gets blamed on retrograde, but I mean, I work with technology every single day and I haven't had the problem. And it's like there's no even reason for things, excuse me, to not be working, but they're just not working. I've tried to upload a couple of clients' readings to YouTube and they're just not working, and there's no reason for it. But anyway, so that's sort of why I'm a bit delayed with the podcast this week. I usually get these done well in advance, but I've just been busy with the readings, and which is really, really good, and I'm grateful and not complaining about that at all. But it has meant that I've had to sort of prioritize a little bit better. When it comes to what needs to be done and what I want to get done. So I wanted to get the podcast out and it just wasn't going to happen. Anyway, there's a message in there as well somewhere, but you can take from that what you will. So other than that, I've also been putting a bit of time and effort, quite a lot of time and effort, into some groups over on Facebook. If you are following my Facebook social media stuff, my page, Spiritual Medium Shannon, and my group, Spiritual Medium Shannon Connect, you'll know that I've been putting a bit of time into some Facebook groups, and basically the idea here is to sort of get myself out there and show people that are interested how I go about doing readings. So in these groups, basically you have to meet a requirement before you can even begin to do the readings. You've got to pass a series of tests where you provide readings and you get feedback. This is all done in private, and you get feedback for the readings that you do. So you have to pass 8 readings with a percentage accuracy across, I think you can only get, I can't remember now, but there's only a couple that you can get wrong. And in order to do those, and there's another test, and then, there's a few tests and stages that you've got to go through to become a reader on the groups. And that's just to ensure the person that's running these groups that, you're not there for the wrong reasons, and you can actually do what you say that you can do. So I've been over there. One, it's because I want to access people. I want to get in contact with people, provide people the readings that they want to receive, drum up a conversation with people. But it's also a good way to connect with people in a way that's going to show them what you can do, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like the personal gain side of it for me, is just to be able to connect with people more and show them like if you want a reading, you can come and have a reading with me, and like, this is how I work, and you can go and check out my feedback and get a bit of an insight, because I definitely feel that this is something that I'm going to be doing long term. I know that I've only been providing readings for a short amount of time, but this sort of gives me access to doing them on the regular as well as in large amounts, so it keeps me connected. So if there is a time where I'm in a bit of a lull, I can fall back on the pages as well to keep me going and keep me motivated, which is good, being a Taurus and all the rest of it. I'm definitely somebody that needs a bit of a nudge. When I get into something, I'm head first. And like, I mean, if this isn't, I've only been doing this since like more professionally, since November through January was sort of when it all really started to kick off, and here I am, I'm doing videos on YouTube and uploading podcasts, and but I need that to stay motivated. So that's the other thing that I've been doing. And the third thing that I'm going to be looking into, this is aside from, running around after a child and finishing up my final year at uni and everything else that's going on, which we won't get into because that's boring. But I'm also going to be making tarot bags. I have been sort of racking my brain for ways to store my tarot, I want to say. I work with a few different decks, and I work with them quite regularly, because I do feel that it does help me to connect sometimes. It's just, boom, everything's there. So I do like to use them, but I'm also someone that doesn't like to have them in a box. I do have quite a few that are in boxes, but I don't know, I feel that I can connect to them better when they're out of their box. So I do have 5 decks that I can access like right now. They're right next to me here, and I've got those in like a little I've got 4 of them in a little wooden box, and one of them is just sort of out. And I've already done away with a couple of the boxes for them. So the 5th sort of deck is just sort of sitting out on my little standy thing I've got here. They're not really in anything, and I do like to, how do you say, I guess, put them into something that's kind of special. So this is why I'm thinking of making these bags. Basically, that's the reason that I'm telling you my life story with what's going on with my cards here to my left. But yeah, I had the idea for I need something to put that 5th little deck in. He's just sort of sitting out on his own. So yeah, I've always been somebody that's been creative, and I wouldn't say crafty, but kind of crafty. I have sewn clothes for my son in the past. Not a great deal because it's very time consuming and you do have to be fickle, and I don't have the patience. Whereas this is something that I feel, when I made the first one that was sort of a test run, 1, I could see why I needed to be fickle, because 2, I'm also a bit of a perfectionist, and I was like, I'm not going to put my tarot cards in that unaligned, wonky little bag. But if I take my time with it, I do want to start making them. I've got a lot of ideas. I felt that while I was in that meditative state of just making these little bags, a lot of ideas were sort of coming to me, and I've spoken to my sister about it this morning as well. And she's suggested a couple of different ideas that I could do with them. So I'm definitely looking into doing that. And the reason, I guess, as well for this podcast, it's just a bit of a chat. There's no real theme. I sort of haven't had the time to really think of something that I specifically want to talk about. right now, although the list is long. I almost felt that it was important to sort of say that when you are getting stuck into different things and your time is being spent on various activities, that it is okay to kind of like get your groove back, I want to say. Like, there's no need to sort of put pressure, and I needed to remind myself of that. Like, I'm like, no, but I said that I'm going to do these once a week, and I'm, already falling behind. But that's okay. It's not that I'm falling behind because I'm not motivated to do it. I'm falling behind because the whole purpose for why I'm here doing this, my whole reason for this spiritual path that I'm on at the moment, is to be providing readings. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm called to do. That's what I'm being guided to do. So while some things are falling astray, I need to remind myself that it's okay. You can get back to it when you can get back to it. Like, the whole of the podcast universe isn't going to close in on itself because you are delayed a couple of days, and that's relevant in everyday life as well. It's okay to sort of go, oh, well, I still love doing that, but I've got other stuff that's popped up that I need to focus on for a minute. So I'm going to focus on that and get that done and then get back to it, rather than letting yourself become swoop. Because I know for me personally, if I start to think and get overwhelmed and try to do everything all at once, if I maintain that, the second that things go wrong, it's like everything's done. I'll switch off from everything. And providing readings has really been the first time in my life, the first thing in my life where that hasn't happened. It's like I get bogged down with the have-to-dos, and rather than just walking away from everything, which is what I would do in the past, I'm kind of working out ways and accepting the fact that you can't do everything all the time. You can't be 100% all the time. And I've just maintained a bit more of a realistic approach with everything, with especially my time management. It's like I sort of go, okay, I need to dedicate my time to this. I need to put energy into this. I need to make time for this person. And I'm going, while I'm doing that particular thing, everything else can wait. So whether or not how that goes and how it's going to last, I don't know, because it's completely different to how I would normally do things. I would do everything all at once and then stress myself out and then have a mini panic attack. And then bugger everything off. But I think we're getting there. I think I'm getting somewhere. Certainly doesn't seem like it today for you guys listening to this rubbish, or rambling. But I felt the need to talk about it because I felt the need, like some of you maybe needed to hear it, like that you are doing a lot, and it's okay to just be like, throw your hands up in the air and be like, look, I can't do everything. And I mean, for the mothers out there listening and the fathers out there listening, like, you get it. You get it. But just for everybody, like, if you've got too much on your plate, just take a little breather. Give yourself a little breather. Know that it's going to be okay. And I'm not saying this to try and be patronizing. I'm saying it because it totally will be. It totally will be fine. I know that things progress and manifest when you put time and energy into them, but it doesn't mean that they're going to go away, that the progress is going to be lost because you've got to step away for a minute and then come back again. The important thing to remember, and the message here, is to come back to it. And that's sort of what I wanted to say today. Okay, so I'm going to finish up there. Like I said, it's just a little catch up, a little check-in. If you want to go and find where I'm up to and what I'm doing, you can follow my social medias. Instagram, Spiritual Medium Shannon, Facebook, Spiritual Medium Shannon, or the group Spiritual Medium Shannon Connect. Otherwise, you can head to my website, which is Spiritual Medium Shan. It's a Wix website. Or just shoot me an email, spiritualmediumshannon@outlook.com. Always down for a chat. I'll leave it there for you guys. I hope you're having a great week. As I said, it's Wednesday, good old hump day. I hope you're pushing through and looking forward to the weekend. A bit of R&R on the cards. Have a great day, guys. And once again, you've been listening to Shannon. This is Spiritual Sharing, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.